Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 667. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey, everybody.
All right, so now finally we get to talk about Godzilla. Been waiting to talk about this. So, what's going on?
So, it's kind of nice. We're taking a break from Shin Gojira, and we're talking about the legendary Godzilla universe now. We got some good news today, and we got some, although it's not really bad news. The good news, Godzilla vs. Kong is officially set as of right now. Its release date as of right now is May 29th, 2020.
Oh, didn't we call 2020? Okay, yeah.
Well, they said that a while ago.
Yeah.
But that's a great release date as of right now. As far as is coming out around that time, very strong release date. So happy about that. Now, the bad news, the not great news, I should say, is Godzilla 2 has been delayed. It was coming out in, I believe, June of 2018. It is now coming out March 22nd, 2019. Now, here's why this is good. There's reasons that this is good, and there's more reasons that it's good than bad. The good news is it's escaped that time because there's a lot of movies coming out summer of 2018.
Okay.
And the big thing right now is a lot of people think that it's going to be a very difficult summer for a lot of movies.
Okay.
So I'm glad it got out of there. Another reason is this movie, Godzilla 2, was coming out on the same day as the Transformers Bumblebee spinoff. And as we all know, Transformers movies do very well at the box office, despite their critical despite that they're pretty much all critical failures. I'm glad that it moved because I didn't want Bumblebee to take away from it, even though I don't think Bumblebee's going to be that great. Of course, I'm bummed about, now it's 3 years away. That means we're not getting anything for the rest of this year for the legendary Godzilla. Next year comes out, which is good, but again, we're not going to get anything Godzilla-wise in 2017.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me just ask you one question first. Let me hold off. If Shin Gojira does phenomenal, okay, is it possible that they will make another Godzilla movie for 2017?
No.
Really?
Because it would take much time to do unless they do it very quickly. I doubt that we'll see that. I think
if they know that Godzilla 2 is not coming out to 2019, why wouldn't they take advantage of it if they have these egos, show off their stuff, put out a Godzilla movie 2017, 2018, and basically show off?
I doubt that they can do that, to tell you the truth.
They're not capable, Toho?
I'm not saying that they're not capable of it. I just don't think that they'd be able to release a movie of the level of Shin Gojira because that had to have outside funding. Unless they have a plan for it right now, I think the closest we'll see another Toho Godzilla movie, if we see another Toho Godzilla movie, would probably be 2018, which would be good. I wouldn't mind that.
What if they were secretly working on it?
I mean, okay, then 2017, but here's my thing. I don't want them working on anything else until Shin Gojira comes out, because if Shin Gojira is bad, I don't want to see another movie in that universe, unless they somehow fix it.
Okay.
But, it's one of the this legendary thing is one of those things that, like, I'm disappointed, but I can't be mad because I know in the long run, Godzilla 2 will be better now.
Right.
So, and it will probably do better. The one thing now that I really think this does confirm for me, there isn't going to be a Godzilla 3 unless they do very well Godzilla 2 and Kong, or Godzilla vs. Kong.
Well, wait a minute. Godzilla 2 is Godzilla vs. Kong or no?
No.
So Godzilla 3 is technically Godzilla vs. Kong?
No. They're not considering it Godzilla 3.
It's just considered
It's
Godzilla's
another
film.
movie. Yeah. What
Okay.
that means to me is that either Godzilla 3 is going to come out in like 2022 or something, or they're not doing it, or they've got something else planned. What this also confirms for me, I'm not saying that this is definitely going to happen, but for my own kind of scrutiny, since there is no Godzilla 3 now, that it looks like that, to me that definitely confirms that Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah are all in Godzilla 2, which I was thinking about it before, and I was able to come up with a way that they could potentially put all three of them in there, and it wouldn't necessarily be bad. However, I still think having all of those monsters in one movie is a very, very risky move.
Yeah, I mean, I am one that would. I have the opposite thing. I do want to see a lot of monsters in a movie. You know, from
I
back in
do
the day,
too,
I
but not
remember
these
that.
three. These three need to be built up. This is Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah. These are
Yeah.
these are three. Well, here's the thing, right? Rodan is relatively simple, so you could put him with anybody. It's Mothra and Ghidorah that are bothering me, mainly Ghidorah, because Ghidorah's got to be like the most grand kaiju that they have. They have to introduce him. He has to be a bit grander than even Godzilla is. So I don't want them to just be like, oh yeah, by the way, there was another thing in the time period that Godzilla lived, and this one was actually the top of the food chain, not Godzilla's species.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
I'd be like,
I don't want that. I don't want
to
that.
me, Ghidorah not something natural. Like he's got to be something like an alien or a product of time travel or something like
Well,
that.
I thought he was an alien. That's when he was introduced. The alien that I mean, Monster Zero. I mean, wasn't he like their planet's monster?
Well, in the Showa series, he was actually just a creature that was kind of like it just appeared in the universe.
Okay.
And they just like, his origin was actually explained. I think in Zone Fighter, they explained what he was. But this is what I was saying before. I think what they could do, because Gareth Edwards or somebody who worked on Godzilla 2014 or who was involved with it, excuse me, they said something very interesting that I kind of thought of like a little while ago, like literally a couple hours ago. They said that the story is going somewhere where humanity would have their own kaiju. What I'm thinking is Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra. Rodan's going to be just another species from Godzilla's time. Mothra's going to be an insect creature from that time. They're both going to awaken. They're probably going to start fighting. Godzilla's going to come out and be like, what are you two doing? He's going to get involved. Monarch, which we know has been around for years, this is what I'm thinking they did. They probably have Godzilla's genetics and the genetics of many other kaiju/mutos, whatever you want to say. I'm starting to think that maybe they create Ghidorah as sort of a way, or they have already created Ghidorah as to fight Godzilla and other kaiju/muto. They release Ghidorah in this movie with the intention of we got to kill Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan. It goes wrong. Ghidorah, he basically defeats all three of them, and then they inadvertently team up against him. It's not like they come together and start like roaring at each other. They all just attack Ghidorah, and that's kind of how this goes. There's no other way I can see this, because I can't see Ghidorah being an alien because it doesn't work in this universe.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because now they have to introduce aliens, and then it's like all weird.
Yeah. The whole point of 2014 was they wanted to ground it. I think they succeeded in. And then all of a sudden having an alien, it would just be like,
Yeah, man. What about the possibility that Godzilla 3 is actually Godzilla versus Gamera?
No.
No.
No. Absolutely not.
Why?
They don't have the rights to Gamera.
Maybe they can get it?
No, not with this new Gamera movie coming out. I doubt it.
All right.
I doubt it highly.
What about Megalon? What about Gigan? What about
They can't they can't do Gigan
Ghidorah. Why?
because Gigan was part cyborg, and that doesn't make sense in this universe. Megalon could make sense, but they'd have to really redo him. But again, there's no Godzilla 3 planned right now, so.
All right.
Personally, what I was saying, again, I find it funny now that Godzilla 2 is 1 year before King Kong. Like Godzilla versus Kong, I should say, happens a year later. Like it's in 2019 and 2020 is Godzilla versus Kong.
But they don't have a lead to it from 2?
That's what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is, I think what we're going to see is in Skull Island, Monarch's going to get control of the island. In Godzilla 2, we're going to see that Ghidorah was being made on the island. And then when he escapes or is released, island gets destroyed. And then Godzilla versus Kong, Kong's kind of like, what the hell happened to my island? And then. Yeah.
So that would be our versus movie.
Yeah.
That probably will be done right. This the original was good too. So.
Well, the thing is too, though, Thomas Tull basically said that Godzilla and Kong are definitely going to fight, obviously, but he wants to see them fight something else. What is that something else?
Oh, Ghidorah.
Well, if Ghidorah is going to be in 2, it has to be something else. And I'm hoping it's something new. I hope it's a new kaiju.
It's probably Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla doesn't work, though.
Mechagodzilla, Mecha-Kong?
I think it's going to be another kaiju. I think it's going to be something else.
No.
Like maybe it's going to be,
Destroyer?
It could be. I hope it's not some sort of like genetic fusion between Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Because that's actually a thing.
What do you mean?
There's a toy company that made.
Oh, that's right. They made a Godzilla Kong. I remember that a while back, right?
Yeah. I hope it's not something like that. I don't think it's going to be, but.
Right.
Whoa, that would be bad.
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's going to be some. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be something that they were using maybe after Ghidorah. Like they made Ghidorah and then they made something else. Could be Destroyer. Like you said, maybe they used Destroyer.
Could it be, I'm trying to think what else they could do. I would go for a new villain.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best.
But do a really cool villain, not like a shitty, Yeah.
I
mean, they should make some new villains for him.
They should. There's so much room to make new villains for Godzilla.
Like that design you showed me would have been really awesome if you would have fought that thing, that bat weird creature thing. Remember that?
Oh, the Griffin.
Griffin, yeah.
I would love if they were like, yeah, guess what? We got the rights for the Griffin.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah.
I would mark out for that, man. If the friggin' Griffin shows up in one of these movies, I'd be like, yes.
That's hot. That'd be great. I would be all for it.
Or something, man.
Yeah. There was a video that I created years ago that I predicted 2020.
Mm-hmm.
For I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, actually, I remember you saying around 2020 because that was when everybody was split into, yes, they're going to make King Kong versus Godzilla. No, they're not going to do it. And then like a month or two later, it was like, hey, guys, Godzilla versus Kong. And everyone was like, yes!
Right. That was a long time ago, too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny, like a lot of stuff we say, becomes fruition. Like, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. There was other delays I heard today.
There are actually, yeah. There was a DC movie or 2 DC movies that also. See, this was the thing. I got worried because I thought it was only Godzilla movies, but it turns out it wasn't.
Yeah.
WB is shifting around a lot of their movies. Which
Green Lantern.
Yeah, that got moved up, I think, or something.
Got moved up.
I think so.
In the place of what happened? What got canceled? Flash or not really?
Nothing got canceled as far as I know, but I know that they moved around another DC movie, and then they moved Green Lantern, and then I can't think of anything else. I know the 2 I was mainly focused on was Godzilla 2 and Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, I know. But there was other.
Yeah.
Let me see. While you're talking, let me find out.
Yeah, I have the Green Lantern thing here. It was.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, here
Disney
it is.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It was pushed back a month. It comes out July 24th of
Yeah.
another year. Yeah.
Right. Let me see what else I have. Because again, this stuff breaks at night sometimes.
Yes.
A little while ago, which is really interesting. Come on. All right, we know about the Rock Jumanji reboot that's honoring. So we know about Wolverine 3 is rated R. Heard about that. Where else? By the way, people. Okay, just want to throw it in there before we find out the article. It's been confirmed by Tim Burton that was said months ago that we reported that Johnny Depp was asked to play Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And Beetlejuice 2, and they says absolutely not. Tim Burton said absolutely not. Beetlejuice is only Michael Keaton, and never happened. So just want to put that out there because we just got the word in 6 hours ago. So that's from Tim Burton's mouth. Where is it, Chris?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I didn't even see an article about it. I just saw some news blurbs about it every now and then.
Yeah, I don't know where it is.
Everything else was in the Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla 2 article.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds to me like WB and Legendary, maybe just WB, they looked at the roster of movies coming up for the next few years, and they were like, let's move our stuff around.
Well, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you say, oh, crap, Star Wars Episode 9? Absolutely not. Like, I'm not going up against that.
Yeah.
Avengers, friggin' Infinity War Part 1 and 2? Hell no. I mean, what are you, crazy?
I had a feeling that they were gonna move Godzilla 2 when they said that Bumblebee spinoff is coming out the same day. I was like, let me tell you something. It's not just Godzilla that should move away from that. Any movie that was going up against that had to move, because I'm telling you right now, even though the Transformers movies do horribly critically, they make huge amounts of money.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Let's look up something here.
The only movie that would probably be able to take that down would be Star Wars or like Avatar 2 or something.
Right. Gotta tell you, wait, I can't find. Why can't I find that? Okay. The funny thing was that friggin' the only movie that had the balls really to go up against Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Chris, was friggin' Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yep.
And I gotta say that it did well,
Mm-hmm.
which is amazing. I guess people, that's something else for the kids to see. $234 million. That was like I think it was like the fourth or fifth one. Yeah, the fourth one. So, yeah. But other than that, nobody's going up against these movies, man. Nobody. And we've got, we got to get the schedule correct because also Deadpool 2, New Mutants, Spider-Man animated movie, which, they're saying is going to be phenomenal.
There was news about New Mutants today as well.
Yes.
They said that Professor Xavier will show up in the movie probably.
Which one?
Well, that's what they're saying. They don't know.
Stewart?
They don't know.
Right.
They said, would it be McAvoy or Patrick Stewart? There's something I wanted to talk about. X-Men. If you don't mind going on to something else.
Let's go. X-Men. Go ahead.
Apocalypse is not doing well critically.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw him appear, I think we talked about it, Chris. Right? I was like, I'm not really crazy about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's this old guy? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's Poe Dameron, right?
Yep.
But it's like, why are they making him old? You know, I was like, isn't he supposed to be like when you think of Apocalypse, besides the comic books, you think of the '90s cartoon, right?
Well, actually, I've gotta throw my age in there. I first saw Apocalypse in the X-Men TV series X-Men Evolution, where it was closer to what they have here, if I'm thinking about it correctly, because there was a whole Egyptian thing going on with him.
But did you see the '90s cartoon? No?
I did not, but I know what he looks like in the '90s cartoon. I know what his whole motive was in that.
Right.
But yeah.
Gotcha. I keep forgetting the age differences sometimes. I'm just a Time Lord. What am I going to say? All right. There you go. Yeah, so we're hearing these mixed reviews that it's like meh.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of it being meh, you know, we're going to have a sequel in the 90s.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay. That's fine with me, man. Let's go do Talk Phoenix Saga. Why not? I don't care what they do. I love the X-Men movies, so whatever. I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. How big could it be? Can't be like is it going to be like Last Stand bad or something? Or, I mean, like...
I don't know.
Come on. Are they going to do something corny like, hey, bub? I think the Wolverine's going to come in like to defeat Apocalypse?
Well, we know Wolverine's in the movie.
Like, is he going to defeat him and it's going to be over?
I doubt it, but we know he's in the movie now.
Yeah, he's not even a cameo either.
Yeah, right? No. When I saw his claws in that trailer, I was like, what, really?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, it's a new time. Here's the thing, okay? It's a new timeline. And even though at the end of the Days of Future Past, supposedly he merges with the memories and that's it. You know? Mm-hmm. But, like, you don't even know what, like, you know, it's kind of like merging the reality. So, you know, we're going to see him. It's kind of complicated, really, to explain. I know. It's like, does X-Men 1 exist? Is that, you know, it's like, I'm not even going to bother. Get a headache trying to explain it. Captain America Civil War, $700 million. You happy about that?
I am.
Me too. Gotta say, I called that too. I said that was going to be today. That it's going to be $700 million, and that's where they reported. Actually, it's 705. 705 on a Monday. Oh, sorry, Tuesday. Tuesday now. We're going to Wednesday. But yeah. So there you go. But these numbers were for Monday. Yeah. So it did $42 million on a Sunday. $13 million on a Monday. Man. That's great. And I think it's gonna still do good. You know?
Oh yeah.
For a couple of weeks. I mean, it's probably gonna be $1 billion by next Monday, I would say.
Yeah, I think sometime next week.
Yeah. So anything else going on? There was a lot of stuff today, I think. We're just getting mixed with the shuffle.
I don't think I ever heard your opinion. What did you think of the Power Ranger suits?
I actually like them.
Yeah, I do
too. They don't look like the like silky. I mean, the fabric. It's like, you know, it's like you can rip it in 5 seconds. Which, you know, how could they not rip it on the TV show in 5 seconds?
Sure.
Plus, I sad to say and admit, I actually wore the original Power Ranger costumes back in the day, probably before you were born, I think. Possibly. When were you born?
93.
All right. Well, when you were born, that's I was, I guess, 18. Was I 18? Something like that. No, I was like 19, and I had a job, and I dressed up like Power Rangers and stuff at this amusement park for birthday parties. And I also did the rides. I controlled the rides, and I had to be Barney too. They were pulling on my tail. It was terrible. Summer. So yeah, I wore the original. I think I wore the Red Ranger outfit, the original one. But yeah, it was very, you know, I like them a lot. I mean, is it going to be like Iron Man-ish type? Like, is it going to be metal?
I don't know. I mean, I like them just because
It looks kind of metallic a little bit, right?
Yeah, it does. I like them just because they look like the old suits, just updated, which is nice.
But I don't like Rita Repulsa though.
Yeah, that looks kind of weird.
I want the the witch with the thing. Like,
Sure.
why can't she do that? Like, why?
Well, apparently she has 2 costumes in this movie. It's that
But
one and another one.
They should make her look like that though. I mean, that's what I think they should do.
I don't think she looks bad, honestly.
I think she looks like Serpentor's woman, or I don't know, whatever.
I want to know.
I
want to know what the Zords and the Megazord looks like.
Yeah.
And if someone tells me there are no Zords or Megazord in this movie, the movie fails. It fails.
Yeah.
It fails as a Power Rangers movie.
Right.
Across the board. Sorry.
Let me tell you something. When Power Rangers came out, even the pizza places were selling Power Rangers toys.
I can imagine.
I remember. I was going to get a pizza. They're like, the Megazord's up there. I'm like, oh! It's like, I built an end cap. And I'm like, I actually was like, oh, this is going to be the biggest thing. When it came out, like, right when it just started, you got all the toys. You don't know if it's going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to make an end cap. They're like, why would you do that? You don't know whatever, right? I built the friggin' thing. The thing was gone in hours.
Mm-hmm.
The whole end cap sold out. Everything. There was not one piece left on that end cap. Hours. That was the fastest end cap that was sold out. I think I was working for Caldor at the time.
Jeez.
So, yeah, back in the day. So, I used to put out a little toy. I used to work in different toy businesses and companies, and I was a toy division in Caldor. So, yeah. So, what else could they? Voltron's coming to Netflix. That's gonna be good, right?
Yes.
I can't wait for that.
And he looks pretty good too.
Yeah, he does. What else is coming back? I wanted to talk about. Something new was announced recently, wasn't it? I'm trying to think. Guys, there's so many friggin' news that hits every day. It's like, and we try to save all the articles, and
Yeah.
something was coming back. It will come to me probably tomorrow. I am happy the Predator thing is returning. It's not a reboot. It's a sequel, from what I understand.
Yep.
So that's good. But there's articles that are out there today that are misquoting older articles that was wrong. So look out for that, guys, because it's not a reboot. Obviously, if Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing Dutch and it's a continuation, it's not a reboot. So keep that in mind. What else? I guess that's it for now, right? Or no?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we reported all the big things now.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we talked about Friday the 13th got canceled with the CW.
Did it really?
Yeah, thank God. Thank God.
Friday the 13th and the CW should not be in the same sentence.
Yeah, like high schoolers and Crystal Lake and Jason Voorhees. No.
Yeah, no.
I do got to say that originally when Scream TV series, I hated the pilot. I thought the pilot sucked. I tweeted things everywhere. But then the second episode, Joe convinced me to see it. And me and Sharon loved it, the Scream TV series.
Oh, wow.
So it's starting the end of May, which is just in time because Bates Motel is ending next week, and so is Damien. So it'll be something else to watch on a Monday, which usually happens. Like these shows, like Fear the Walking Dead goes off the air, then something else comes on. It's like something always fills the spot. I don't know if I'm going to be watching The Preacher. I got to see, because I don't know if it's going to be true to, what it was in the comics, I guess, and stuff. But we'll see. What else? We still got to watch Penny Dreadful. You watch Penny Dreadful or no?
No, I probably should get caught up with it, though.
Okay. And I got to get caught up with other shows as well. Not crazy about Krypton on Sci-Fi.
I think that's going to be hilarious.
And this Friday the 13th drama of the movies, I don't know really why it's taking so long. And also, they put out a promo today. Was that a real promo about Elm Street?
Oh, I didn't even see that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, there was something that was put out, and again, correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been a fan thing. It just said Elm Street. It didn't say Nightmare on. So I don't know if that's a new hip thing that they're going to do, but I know that they're working on a reboot of A Nightmare on Elm Street, just so you know.
Oh, boy.
Secretly. I know that they're working on it, and I know that they're not going to go into the direction of they did. It's going to be like the original. Forget about trying to look like real if you were really burned and that crap. Forget about that garbage. Forget about that whole thing where they went a little freaky with it. No, try to keep it close to the original. So I know that they're working on that. I'm awaiting what's going on with Chucky. Not that this has become the horror cast, but it's supposed to be a Chucky movie this year. So, all right, we're going to get out of here, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. So take care. Bye for now.